Welcome. I will be showing you some historical, some famous, and some of my favorite pastry shops in Paris. The Stohrer pastry shop is the oldest pastry shop in Paris. Pastries were first made for royalty. Nicolas Stohrer was a pastry chef to Queen Marie and King Louis XV from 1725 to 1730. He then opened his own pastry shop. With his royal connection, it was an immediate success. La Baba was all the rage. It's a brioche-based cake soaked in a rum syrup. Le Bossu, 6B, Rochecanon, Fontainebleau. Weeks before, the small boulder below caused the crash pad to be at a slant and caused my ankle to roll. This time, I built up the landing areas so the pads were flat. Engaging the thumb was critical to hold on for the next move. I had to move the left hand 3 times before I had the hold correctly. The finish moves were not too bad. As a matter of fact, after this problem feeling close to impossible for me, this time it felt easy.
Yeah, baby! Woo!
The famous shops of Pierre Hermé first started in 1998 in Tokyo and in Paris in 2001. Pierre Hermé imagines himself as a high-end fashion designer for pastries. He invented the term haute pastière. The ispahan is made of 2 rose macarons with rose petal cream, raspberries, and lychee in between. LaDurée is the first ever French salon de thé, a pastry shop that doubles as a cafe. In 1900, it was also one of the first public places where Parisian women could meet and socialize while eating delicious pastries. Opened in 1862 by Ernest LaDurée, who created macarons. My favorites are the lemon macaron, pistachio macaron, and the Marie Antoinette macaron. This former chapel, Notre Dame de l'Immaculée Conception, opened in 1860. In 2022, Climbing District transformed it into a climbing gym. It's 3rd in Paris. It's an all-auto ballet gym. An immigrant arriving in France at the age of 14, Fong opened Logement in 2022 after attending the prestigious Cordon Bleu School in Paris and trained under the direction of Michelin-starred chef Cyril Lignac. After recently discovering Logement, it became our go-to pastry shop for dessert. For me personally, I absolutely adore the matcha cookies with white chocolate, oh my, and the Sophia, a lemon cream pastry on top of a delightful crust. Louis, 6A, Rochecanon, Fontainebleau. For my style and height, this is one of the easiest 6As I have done. The weird thing is pressing the thumb up for balance to get the left hand on the side pull. The jug below the top is like a route setter put it in the perfect spot. The mantle to get up is not too bad. The brothers Bradley and Logan Lafont opened Ernest and Valentin in 2012. They named it after their grandfathers. The brothers now have 9 bakeries in the Ile-de-France region. The classical flan of Ernest and Valentin is wonderful. But when I tasted the creative flan pistache, there was no going back. Les Andelys at Bisecto Sector. The rock formation is what I picture good limestone to look like. The bottom was washed away by the Seine thousands of years ago and left a rounded overhang. This makes the starts very cruxy. Jan and Simeon on Passage Cloutée, a 6A+, and I am on Royal Vaux, 6B. Stéphane Vandermeersch decided at the age of 11 to follow in his aunt's footsteps by becoming a pastry baker. In 1999, Vandermeersch opened his namesake bakery. My favorites are the Croissant Allemande, which I think is the best in Paris, and the Millefeuille, that ranked first by the Figaroscope in 2009. Links to all the pastry shops are in the description below. This is Magnifique in Rochecanon-Fontainebleau. At 60 plus, it is the hardest boulder problem I have ever climbed. It was nice to have a couple of spotters below. As in a lot of Fontainebleau, it has several slopers. The crux is grabbing the right sloper, reaching for the left side pull. Go left again to an intermediate crimp, and then to the jug. It took me a second to figure out the final moves. After this personal best, Robin Uel showed me how to do the 7A sit start without shoes and a lot smoother than I did the stand start. Wow! Keep learning and having fun.